I got a topic for us today, Jeff, that I need to find the inner fire to because it's it's one of those things that I think separates the players who really want to get better.
Yeah.
As opposed to the guys who are either just dabbling or whatever. But before we get into the topic, I want to remind everybody that you and I are offering a free 10-minute coaching call. It's private. And so if there's something in your game right now, number one thing in your game that you just can't figure out, you've been a DIY guy for too long or gal for too long trying to do it yourself, and you're just not going anywhere. And
there you go.
You kind of know the result you want, but you don't really know how to get there. So Jeff and I want to help put you on a path to get you there. The way to get on this free 10-minute private coaching call is to go over to goalballhunting.com, put in a first name and email address, and you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler where you get to cherry pick the date and time. We don't. This is not about us, man. This is about you. So take advantage of it. Jeff, what I want to talk to you about today is this thing where players either have a current injury or they have some kind of a permanent deal, right? They played for the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, and they got some kind of a knee deal going on, and it's permanent, right?
Yeah.
But maybe they're like the rest of us where they have some kind of a tweak somewhere. And to me, I see this a lot where someone gets hurt and it becomes an excuse to not do anything. Is to just go, well, I've heard that the best thing to do is to rest.
Rest. I'm sorry, did that injury come with a lazy boy chair?
Well, that's some of the advice that's being dispensed out there is, well, look, you're a senior guy, right? And of course your doctor is. I shouldn't say this. I'm not going to say it. Well, I'm going to say it. Okay, I won't say it. But let's just say your doctor's not real active, and
oh, that's good.
And it kind of and it kind of shows. Anyway, but I just feel like injuries are excuses to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think? I mean, I'm sure you've got students, you've got players who've gotten hurt, and you've said, okay, all right, so yeah, maybe hitting that forehand or hitting the serve for the next 2 weeks, not a great idea. But in the meantime,
right,
take it away.
In the meantime, do something. Well, please do something.
Put the bonbons away.
Right. Yeah. The injury didn't come with, like I said, a lazy boy chair and a remote control, right?
That's right.
It's not a package deal.
That's right.
That's true. I think it's easy to, just not, because, injuries can, obviously just immediately just squelch your motivation and your discipline. And the more sedentary you are, the more sedentary you want to be. And I'm guilty of it too. I have a hard time, getting myself like, come on, let's go, and doing the extra work.
Yeah,
Somebody says, let's go. Somebody says, let's go hit a tennis ball. I'm there. But the extra work to keep the body, flexed and comfortable and healthy and strong, that's tough. That's not an easy road to hoe. And it becomes even tougher with an injury, because there is some injuries you got to just let it rest. But that doesn't mean that, I got a little elbow injury. That doesn't mean you can't actually get on a treadmill. It doesn't mean you can't get on a stationary bike.
That's right.
It doesn't mean you can't get out and walk around the block 5 times or 6 times.
Right.
Whatever it is, and it's like me telling you, okay, Brenny, listen, we've done a couple episodes. Get up out of that chair. I'll meet you back here in 5 minutes. It's those little things that make the big difference. And the tough part is, with an injury, is do you have some people around you that can help you, be accountable, help you be accountable to get up, walk around, and whatever it might be, that floats your boat in terms of physical activity. If it's, if it's a knee thing and you got to wait it out, then figure something else out.
Do some arm work. Do some flexibility in the shoulders. Do something where,
right.
Yeah. I mean, who was the kid, the guy from Austria, the lefty?
Thomas Muster.
Thomas Muster, who he got hit by the car in Key Biscayne, and like a week later, he's built this wooden contraption where
bench.
He's got his leg in it, and he's just grinding forehand after forehand, and I'm going, wow, this guy, and look at his results. I mean, he was a clay court. I think, isn't he like the second most prolific guy behind Rafa on clay? Or, it's one of the guys.
His competitive spirit, is truly just a pit bull, a dog with a bone.
Yes.
And just that, that little rhythm he had, and I mean, that was unbelievable too. He wins Lipton and he's going out to, I think he was going out to dinner that night, celebrating, and he gets hit.
That's right.
Right.
He was actually putting his gear in the trunk of a car, and I don't know if someone else backed into him or someone else hit the accelerator and not the brake and hit him.
Yeah.
And it was an horrific, horrible injury. And the guy, maybe it wasn't a week, maybe it was a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
But that video and I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, Thomas Muster.
Right.
Muster. Go Google that on or go search it on YouTube.
I mean,
it's beautiful.
That's commitment, baby.
Yeah.
So commitment.
So what do you tell the guy though that literally has got a permanent injury? We were joking about the Dallas Cowboys, but we have a lot of senior players who did play football or who did some other sport or maybe got in a car wreck or something like that, and they've got some kind of permanent injury. And to me, it's kind of like I hear these guys, well, I'm limited mobility-wise. And I'm kind of going, okay, well, have you thought about developing more flexibility in your shoulders? Have you thought about, working more on balance and posture so when you do arrive to the ball,
right,
that you're not all bent over because of that knee thing? And I understand. I get it. You're limited quickness, nimbleness, whatever it is. But is there anything you can do, maybe endurance-wise, maybe more flexibility? Don't use it as an excuse to go, well, this is it. This is the best I got. I can't do anything to improve my tennis.
Well, I think another thing too that is not really considered enough is how much weight are you carrying on top of that injury?
Thank you very much.
If you're carrying extra weight on top of that injury, every pound you lose adds to the concentric circles that you can move in your mobility on the tennis court.
Bingo.
And I can tell you because I've worked with players and we've done the work, and all of a sudden, 10, 15 pounds later, it's like, this is a different person. And oh my gosh, the knee doesn't hurt as much. In fact, it's less. It's amazing. If you got to look at all the different factors, and I know my recommendation to players that, have like a new injury or they're finally going to go get their knee scoped or whatever it is, I say, listen, your first job and priority is the physical therapy, and you have to become obsessed with it for the first 30 days. Do not miss. Do the extra work. Ice as much as you can. I mean, you've got to do everything you literally have to treat it as if your life depends on it. If you want to really hack the system and get to that point where you feel like, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to be able to move and do this. I know when I had my knee done back in 2014, my left knee, the first 7 days, I used a machine called Game Ready. And it's an icing machine that it's got a reservoir and you crushed ice in it, and then you put water in it, and it looks like a small microwave, and it pumps water and air, two different systems, into a sleeve that goes over your knee. That the air compresses it, and then this ice water is moving through it. I did probably 7 sessions a day of 20 to 30-minute sessions a day for 7 days. Wow. I got my iPad. Wow. I sat there, Netflix and me, and that's what I did. And you know what? I never had any issue with swelling of the knee or anything. I'd be walking, because I walked the day I got it. I had the surgery. But every day I'd be walking as a little brief walk downtown or something, and everybody, like, you got your knee done, it's like it's not even swollen. And
yeah, so, but the other thing too is you showed up for the surgery without carrying any extra weight.
True.
And I think right. a lot of, and we're getting a little off topic here, but if you're about to have a hip or a knee or something done or surgery done, man, your first order of business before the surgery. Right. Is
how much time do you have? Right.
Just
right.
get your weight down to really where it should be, and don't use the excuse, well, because I got a bad knee, Brent, I can't lose weight. What? What are you talking about? I mean, stop
the Twinkie down.
Stop eating the bag of sea salt chips before the 3 beers, and then going straight over to the. Anyway, right. You get the point, right? So,
I had a plan before I had mine done, because I knew there was a window and a time frame. And so my plan was I needed to get it done by the end of February so that I had 90 days to recover and get ready to play the Cat 2 at Berkeley, the Berkeley Nationals Memorial Weekend. That was my plan. I talked to the doctor about it. I said, okay, here you go. You got to schedule me in before the end of February, because I need 90 days to get ready. And I said, that's doable, right? Right?
Yeah.
And he thought about it, and he said, yep, that's a very doable plan based on, again, you're an athlete, your condition, blah, blah, blah. So leading into it, I already mentally had my mindset of where I was heading before the surgery. And then when I got together with the physical therapist, I sat down with her and said, here, you got 90 days. Let's get on this. And she was like thrilled. She was a track star from UC Davis, who's now a physical therapist. So she was like, oh my gosh, finally I get to work with an athlete.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she took it. She did a fantastic job. And 90 days later, John and I win the doubles there.
So it's doable. That's
doable, yeah.
That's a great story. Well, listen, guys. So I encourage you. Look,
did we stay on the subject there? I don't know.
I think so. But I just want to encourage everyone: don't use an injury, whether it's a temporary injury or permanent injury, as an excuse to not do some more work. And I get it. Like, if your knee is the size of a grapefruit or the size of a beach ball, yeah, you want to get that fixed, whatever that means. But that does not mean that you now get to. As you said, it comes with the remote control where you can just sit around and do nothing. So with that said, guys, just a quick reminder about the complimentary 10-minute coaching call Jeff and I are offering. We really want to help you figure out that number one thing in your game right now that is holding you back, whatever it is, whether it's stroke technique, whether it's tactics, strategy, maybe something upstairs. You never know. But whatever it is, we want to help you. Again, it's a free call. It's private. The way to get on it on that is to go to goalballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, and you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler, and you get to cherry pick a date and time that works best for you. Jeffrey, this is the time in the podcast, so wake up, dude. This is it right here where you get to, you always shine, but this is your solo right here.
Yeah, I've been practicing too. I've been up late at night now practicing my lines. So if I get it right.
Okay. Shutting your eyes, kind of sitting back, visualizing. Let her rip.
Please like us, share us. Please subscribe and let us know what you think down below.
Outstanding. Well done, man. You have been rehearsing. Guys, Come on now. Get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Do it. Just do it. And Jeff, let's do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.